Hello, baseball fans. Welcome back to Yankees Talk, and I cannot wait to jump in today onto the latest baseball news, hot takes, and some Yankees information for all of you. Let's start off with some of the news. We first will go to Austin Hedges. Austin Hedges was a previous catcher for the Guardians last year, and he did not have the greatest of seasons, but he is now on a 1-year contract deal with the Pirates for $5 million. He had a poor offensive season last year. It was not good at all. He batted 163. He had 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, and an OPS of 489. Poor offensive season. He's not the greatest defender overall either, so it's not really balanced out. Kind of makes sense why he didn't get a ton of money and he only got a 1-year deal. He's going to be sitting with the Pirates for a little bit, and I hope he can bounce back next year. That'd be great for him, not only as well as the Pirates, who are struggling to hold a team together right now, as there are multiple guys who kind of not want to be there anymore, especially Brian Reynolds. Next, let's move on to Justin Turner. Justin Turner is being looked at by 2 teams in particular, being the Red Sox and the Dodgers. The Dodgers, obviously, they want to bring Justin Turner back. They would love to have him back on the team, and as they're trying to look to get stronger, having Turner back in that lineup would be pretty good because he had an overall really good year last year. Sure, he's getting older, but signing him to a 1-2-year deal will not be the end of the world. The Red Sox, on the other hand, they could really use him. Sure, they have Devers at third base already, but you could DH one of the two and have one play third the other night. And honestly, the Red Sox need someone like that because after losing out on JD, after losing Xander, they need somebody who can actually hit in order to compete in the AL East. This division is way too competitive in order to not have somebody who can really help out. Justin Turner had a batting average of .278 last season. He had 13 home runs, 81 RBIs, and an OPS of 788. He did phenomenal last year. He's a good defender, and there's no reason not to go out and get him, Red Sox. You guys need to get somebody quick who can help you and go. Nice guy, sure he's older, not the best for a rebuild, but at the same time, it's just to get you through a couple of years. And at the same time, Dodgers fans, if you re-sign him, good for you. He'd be great back there, and I would totally not dislike that move at all. Next, let's move on to Seth Lugo. He is being looked at by 2 NL West teams now. It's been whittled down to between the Padres and the Dodgers. The former Met has only made about 12 starts since 2018, but he has done a decent job. Last year, he had a 3-2 record. He had a 3.60 ERA with 65 innings pitched, 69 strikeouts, and a WHIP of 117. He could be a good reliever, but at the same time, according to some sources, he has been looked at to be in that starting role for both teams. All teams could use starting pitching, but after the Padres missed out on Mike Clevenger, and the Dodgers, who are looking to just build their starting pitching after adding Noah Syndergaard and missing out on Rodon, they could really use a guy like Seth Lugo, who could just be there to help fill in and go into a starting role for a little bit, help build that rotation that was really solid last year. Next, let's move on to our hot takes of the day. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of news, and it's kind of hard to bring in stuff. No big names off the market, so it's going to be a little bit quicker today. So the first hot take we have is Eric Hosmer. Eric Hosmer actually has just been released by the Red Sox as of recent. He had about 45 at-bats, and whatever team signs him is genuinely going to get him really for not a huge price at all. The Padres are really just front-loading his contract that's left that they put onto him, and that's the whole part of the deal. So they really only have to pay a minimal salary, whoever gets him. And in my opinion, that's not a bad drop by the Red Sox. Hosmer didn't produce all too much for them. He only had about 45 at-bats, which was just a small little sample for what he had. He didn't have a terrible year, but not a great year at all by any means. He had a batting average of .268. He had 8 home runs, 44 RBIs, and an OPS of 716. My opinion, not a bad season, but not a good season. I could see him going to the Rockies. The reason I say that, I understand the Rockies at the moment have C.J. Cron, which is a huge, huge plus for them. And C.J. Cron is a phenomenal ball player. But the reason I could see Eric Hosmer going there is because they could use that extra depth or extra first baseman there in order to back up in case Cron gets injured, in case Cron needs a day off, in case anything happens. and you could just put either Crone at DH or Hosmer at DH to just have that extra set of piece hitting. For all we know, Hosmer could have a decent year next year, but I could not see that totally. I don't have a lot of faith in him. So I could see him going to the Rockies just as an extra depth or bench player. Next, let's move on. I would like to start off by saying I love Matt Carpenter, and I love him back on the Yankees. But my hot take is that he could go to the Red Sox. Like I said it before with Justin Turner, after missing out on JD, after missing out on Xander, all they really got this offseason was Masataka Yoshida and Kenley Jansen. I could see Carpenter being signed to a one-year deal to the Red Sox. Reason being, he's 37, he's not getting any younger, and he could really just use a team to go for a little bit. And the reason I say the Red Sox is because they need a DH, they need a solid outfielder possibly, and Matt Carpenter could be that guy. He could be the guy to come in, hit a good amount of home runs, as he produced a lot for the Yankees. He had a .305 batting average, 15 home runs, 37 RBIs, and an OPS of 1139. And that wasn't in too many games either, because he got injured partway through the season too, and he didn't even play the full season in the first place. He got signed about halfway through. So, in other words, that's just a small sample size of what Carpenter could actually do through a full season, even at this age. So in my opinion, that'd be a great signing by the Red Sox, as this would really fill in the hole left by JD Martinez, not by Xander by any means, and not totally by JD yet, but in my opinion, you could really have a good strength in getting Matt Carpenter. Now, lastly, let's move on to some of the Yankees information. First, let's go off to Aaron Judge. His 60-second home run ball was just auctioned off recently by the man who caught it. He originally was offered $3 million by Judge, and that was a poor decision not to take it, because in the end, he didn't even receive the minimal amount of money that Judge was offering him in the first place. He ended up auctioning the ball off for $1.5 million. I would love to have that. I'm not saying that that's not a lot, but he still got less than what he was originally offered, which was kind of stupid. $3 million is a lot. I don't understand why you wouldn't just take that and not risk it. But who knows? Hopefully Judge will get the big honor roll when he comes back to Yankee Stadium next year on opening day. And I really hope that he will get this 60-second home run ball, as it means a lot to the game of baseball and to Judge himself. Next, should the Yankees consider bringing back Matt Carpenter? I know I just said he could go to the Red Sox, but should the Yankees bring him back? He can play outfield, he can play third base, he can also play first. Like I said, he had a phenomenal season last year, just a small sample size of what he was actually doing. And I could see him producing a lot for the Yankees again. And I would love to have him back, as if he does, I want that Matt Carpenter that we had for that small part last year, where he was hitting great. And I would love to have that producer in our lineup, as sometimes we don't have as much production when it comes to getting guys off the base, just scoring runs. That was an issue the past couple of years. Not as much last year, but still partially an issue. So getting Carpenter back would be great. But at the same time, left field is still busy area we need to fill. According to many sources, left field is the place the Yankees are looking for the most, whether it be a free agent or a trade. I don't have any preferences at the moment. More so, I would like to get Brian Reynolds or Jurickson Profar more than anybody else. Now that Benintendi's off the market, Profar or Reynolds would be fine by me, and I would love to have either of them, as they're both decent defenders and they're both great hitters. I would love to have either or, and therefore I would like to conclude by saying one of those two left fielders should come to the Yankees, as that would fill the gap left out. Not totally by Benintendi unless it's Reynolds, but it would fill it most of the way and get this lineup back going, especially if we are able to trade Hicks, Donaldson, etc., even IKF. But that's all for today. Not as much news. I would just like to say like and subscribe. Comment if you guys have any questions, thoughts, reactions, feedback to my videos, please. I would like to know what to do better, how to get better. I just love all your support, and I will keep conversing with you guys. Thank you all so much, and have a great day.